What's up, mananap? I am the AVADAR, and starting today, I will be your teacher for EAPP, and we will answer the first question. How do you summarize a text? So, allow me to.
Excuse me,
Yes,
what are you doing?
I'm teaching.
Hey, leave the teaching to me. Okay?
Okay.
Alright.
Good day, students. My name is Sir Dardar, and welcome to my first ever tutorial video for English for academic and professional purposes. Now, I understand that in light of the new normal, we are asked either to work from home or learn from home. And because I understand that it can be quite tedious and challenging to learn from home, I decided to start a series of video tutorials which I hope will help you learn the concepts and master the skills that you need to acquire from this subject. Now, for episode 1, we are going to talk about summarizing a text, or in my case, summarizing 101. And I have been asked many times, Sir, how do we write an effective summary? Now, think of a summary as a trailer to a movie or a synopsis to a book. Okay? Many people understand that a summary is a shorter version of a text, but you have to understand that a summary is not only shorter than the actual text, it is also a more condensed version. Why do I say condensed? Because all the details or all the main points presented by the author in the original text must still be found in your summary. So you're squeezing all of those details into a shorter version of that text. And that is why I say that it is a more condensed version of an original or actual text. So, how do we start the writing of the summary? We begin by reading the text thoroughly. And this is very important because it is only when we read a text thoroughly that we are able to glean and extract the main points or the main details found in the text that you have read. Okay? So we read it from start until finish, and then we try to highlight the main points made by the author. Now, why is that important? It is important because step 2 will require you to get those details and flush them out. Okay, so you get the thesis statement, you get all the key points, the supporting ideas, the examples, and the conclusion. You take them out of the original text and then disregard the rest. Okay, you have a few details extracted from the original text. Now, what do we do with those details? We then fill them in to the outline format, which I will be showing you in the next slide. So, what will this format accomplish? This outline format is going to help you organize your thoughts. Okay, that way you see a picture of how your summary is going to flow when you begin writing it. And in my case, I find that writing or constructing an outline before writing is actually very helpful because you are able to construct, deconstruct, rearrange the thoughts found in your paragraph for you to achieve a more seamless and a more fluid output. Okay, so that being said, here's the format. Okay, here's the outline. This is the main idea. The first key point, the supporting ideas for the key point, for this key point. Key point number 2, and the supporting detail for key point number 2. Key point 3, and the supporting detail for key point 3. And then finally, we have your conclusion. So these are the things that you're going to flush out from your original text and while disregarding the rest. Okay? Sir, follow-up question. What if there are only 2 main points in the text? Can we remove key point 3 and the supporting detail? Yes. Sir, what if there are 5 key points? Then you can add key point 4 and key point 5 and their supporting details to your outline format. So, in order to help you get an idea as to the thinking and the writing process, allow me to give you an example. Let's use the story The Tortoise and the Hare. Now, I believe that you guys are already quite familiar with the story, as this has been told countless times, probably when you were a kid. So, The Tortoise and the Hare. What is the story all about? What's the main idea of the story? The story revolves around the race between the hare and the tortoise. That's basically it. That's the highlight of the story, the race. And the first key point in that story was when the hare mocked the tortoise by um, delving on the fact, or focusing on the fact, that the tortoise was slow. Okay, and this was explained, or this was supported by the hare asking the tortoise if he ever gets anywhere. Okay, so what happened next? Key point two: the tortoise responded to the hare and challenged the hare to a race, and this was explained by this particular supporting idea, that he replied to the hare by saying that yes, I am able to get to places, and that I will prove you wrong by engaging in a race with you. So the hare, being very, very overconfident, agreed to the race, and well, then the race happened. So, because the hare was overconfident about his speed, he decided to rest from the race, seeing as he was way, way ahead of the tortoise. And he dozed off under a tree. And by dozed off, he slept. Okay? So, how did the story end? The story ends with the tortoise winning the race, and this was caused by the hare not noticing that the tortoise was about to cross the finish line, because all that time he was sleeping. So those are the main details. Okay, those are the key points found in the story. What's next? We put them together. This time, let's pretend that we have filled in the outline. Now let us look at how the summary is written based on those key points. If this is not very clear in the playback, allow me to read. The tortoise and the hare talks about a race between these two characters, which was triggered when the hare mocked the tortoise for being slow. In response, the tortoise said that he is able to go places and even challenged the hare to a race, to which the hare agreed. During the race, the hare was too overconfident about his speed, and seeing that he was ahead, he decided to rest from the race. However, he dozed off, and the tortoise inched closer to the finish line while the hare slept, and by the time the hare awoke, the tortoise had already won the race. This, I think, is an effective summary of the story The Tortoise and the Hare. And that marks the end of this tutorial video. So, this has been Sir Dardar. I hope that this episode has been helpful. Till next time, class dismissed.